Hail and well met. Welcome to the first episode of Abomination Vaults. I am not able to see the Twitch chat, so if anything goes wrong, well, I'm going to call it up on my phone. Pachita, help me out, buddy. And hopefully, if anything is going wrong, you'll let us know. I am Eric Scott DeVee, the DM of this game, founding member of the Dungeon Scrawlers. That's the channel you're on. So if you're at the Dungeon Scrawlers, you came to the right place. And if you have a code for Idle Champions, which I'll tell you about in a second, that's exclamation point code. That should get you special cool stuff for Idle Champions. I'm a writer, game designer, Twitch streamer, influencer. And this is what I do. So we are running Abomination Vaults 5e version, which was recently released on the D&D DM's Guild. And yeah, it's real cool, and I'm looking forward to it. And on that note, take it away, Gabrielle.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Harboe, and I am playing Mauricio, the elf, the iconic elf rogue. Uh, I am an editor, literary agent, and author, and you can check out my Pathfinder novel, Gears of Faith. Take it away, Kelsey.
Oh gosh. Hi, I'm Kelsey. I'll be playing Sela, the human paladin, the iconic one. You've seen her on covers. I do art at Antique Cipher on Instagram, which hasn't updated in a hot minute. But whatever. Take it away, Fable.
Hi, I'm Fable. I am a story and a purveyor thereof. I will be playing Kira, your cleric of Serore. And I am a creative, a LARP director, and I've been storytelling for years now everywhere as Fable Foxtail. Jen, pick it up.
Hello, I'm Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. You have probably seen me on this channel before. Tonight I'm playing Amiri, the iconic Fae Therian. You might have been sad you couldn't romance her in Kingmaker. You can also find me online at savagesparrow.com, my awesome website. Eric, I'm getting some echo from you.
That's because Twitch opened on my phone. Yay!
You can find me online at savagesparrow.com, my awesome nerdy website, my awesome website for nerdy apparel and accessories, patreon.com/savagesparrow for my cool artwork. Then take it home.
Hello, Benjamin Williams. I actually work in the video game industry at Xbox, and this is my second time on Dungeon Scrawlers. Excited to be back. I will be playing Ezrin, your cantankerous Silver Fox Wizard Initiate, who is weirdly low level despite being old and gray. So with that, back to you, Eric.
He's forgotten more things than you'll ever know. Literally.
All right, we
I'm
got
definitely
everybody.
not going to be annoying.
Yes, I am aware that the Zoom stream says that this is Orkira Plays. That is another show that our friend of the channel, Lauren Obo Urban, does, where she plays her character from Idle Champions on a pilgrimage through Baldur's Gate 3. I can't change that. Stream Elements is not cooperating right now, so we're stuck with it, but we got everything else going, and that is a victory in and of itself. Didn't roll a crit, got a 19. Works out. I'm going to tell, speaking of Idle Champions, by the way, we are proud to have multiple sponsors of this stream. Idle Champions, which is a fantasy action RPG that combines characters from all your favorite Forgotten Realms properties. Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels, Drizzt, Catti-brie, and Brunor, and the halfling, whatever his name was, Philbin. It must be Philbin, right? Anyway, all of them are there together adventuring and getting you loots. You can find that game on basically any platform that you want to, although I think they removed some of the one of the functionalities for like the Switch. Anyway, so if you can't find it there, you'll have to find it on desktop, Mac, OS, PlayStation, Xbox, wherever. It's a great game. as I mentioned before, you can get a code for an Electrum chest here on the stream. We also have 2 dice partners, Norse Foundry, who specializes in making metal dice. It really feels like you're crunching through the armor of the monster horde when you swing it. Don't dent your table, don't drop it on the floor, and stab yourself in the foot. You can get a discount for them with the code that's listed there, or you can put in !Norse Foundry. Go check out their stuff. They constantly have new colors, new designs, beautiful dice. Phoenix Dice, I could say the same thing about, except that they're not metal. They are entirely reused materials, like their namesake, the mythological creature that rises from the ashes to be reborn, beautiful, and fiery yet again. Phoenix Dice is constantly coming out with new materials and stuff. If you play a necromancer and you want some bone-related dice, go for it. Reduce, reuse, reanimate. That is the proper way. And on that note, we are ready to start with Abomination Vaults. I'm excited. So, forward. Now, many of you have heard tales of what exactly went down beneath the Gauntlet lighthouse near Otari, that little backwater city near Absalom. Many of you have heard tales, but I am here to tell you the truth. It's not this. This story is not the truth. This story is entirely made up, and it's because I was on deadline for my chapbook editor. So, what you're going to get is how it would have gone if heroes had been involved rather than the people who were involved. So, please enjoy this tale of our classic, iconic Galarian heroes, one of whom is a Pathfinder. The others maybe might become Pathfinders one day, but the point is they're heroes and they're here to save the day. That's the end of my forward. This is the first time I've ever written one of these, so I hope you enjoy the book. Signed, Cadenza Forte. So, we are going to start our story with 2 travelers on their way to Otari. In a creaky, let's say, it's a wagon. In a creaky wagon that is dripping with the rain down through the roof. The old man stretches. He has been adventuring for so long, and he has faced so many trials and tribulations. And did I mention trials? And he is tired, and his body is sore, and yet he is here to save the day. His traveling companion is a young, vibrant, strong paladin of Iomade, and her name is Sela. And the wizard, his name is S1E1. And they are traveling on the road to Otari from Absalom. It's a 2-day journey. The first day was rather uneventful. It rained all day. The second day, it has continued to rain all day. And no goblins have laid in wait. No strange fairy creatures have sprung from the darkness to attack. In fact, you're just getting a wonderful view of the coastline of the Isle of Kortos, and you can faintly see the cliffs that Otari is supposed to nestle within in the distance. Take it away, S1E1 and Sela. What are you talking about? How is the ride been for you? What brings you to Otari? These are all questions that the very talkative wagoneer has been asking you. hold on a second. It seems that the chat cannot hear you. So I'm just going to go back to the main full party, and they should be able to hear you there. Okay. Start that over. So they're having a conversation. And what is the first thing Ezran says about Otari?
Squints out the window through the rain and says, the only good thing about Atari is that they import Epsilon. It's good coffee. Got a lot of it. When is this rain gonna stop? It hurts. What are you smiling at?
At least the weather's nice.
You just hear me about how much my joints hurt in this rain.
Aren't you supposed to say we needed this rain?
Oh God, you're one of those bright side ones, aren't you? Well, the point is in the town. It's fine. The point's not the town. It's what's around the town. That's why we're here. Coffee will be good at least, right? What are you doing? I mean, why are you coming?
Heard there was good to be done around here, maybe. Also, my teachers always told me about the Rose Garden. Kind of always wanted to see this place.
Hence the love of the rain. The roses need the rain. Yeah. I'm looking for a little more excitement than roses, if you know what I mean.
Not coffee?
Well, I mean, the coffee fuels the excitement, but I'm an explorer. I like to dig up fun things. That's what I'm like. Atari, whatever, Otari. But what's around Otari? That's what's interesting. So anyway, we'll stop, we'll go, but we'll go where we're going after that. You can stop and see the roses. It's fine. We'll do that.
What's around Atari that you're interested in seeing?
It's a surprise.
Okay.
You'll know when you see it.
For you see,
All right.
says the author, Ezran was always a curmudgeonly type, and he was aged, and his bones would ache when it rained. Fortunately, the coming delve would have no damp or mildew of any kind whatsoever, ever, and I'm sure he would be very comfortable. Wink. Did I just write wink down? Maybe I did.
Sorry, this meta-aware narrator is the best.
Sorry, the narrator occasionally puts in footnotes, so. Okay. Sure enough, the wagon comes within sight of a massive wooden. It looks like well, first of all, there's a building, and it's a long structure that looks kind of like a tongue extending from the building toward the cliff. There's another small building at the edge of the cliff, and looking north of here, you can see a long, what looks like a wooden aqueduct that logs, like entire trunks of trees, are floating down. And this would appear to be some kind of means of sending logs down from the forest to the town, and from the town down into the bay, where they can be put up on ships and transported all around Galarian. But especially to Absalom, because Otari does a lot of trade with Absalom. Would either of you like to make a history check to see if you recognize what it is that you're looking at?
As the resident official nerd, apparently I know nothing. I got a 10.
Okay.
I have feelings about this place. Didn't bother to study it.
You know what? I'm gonna try anyway.
Yeah, do
Let's
it.
see. How do
Well, I mean,
Everything,
fortunately,
but, like, it was so boring you forgot it.
fortunately, a 10 is largely sufficient to identify what this thing is that you're seeing.
Even though I didn't want to know anything, I just absorbed it through like just being around.
Well, you can tell that the object in question is, it is sure enough a forestry tool for lumber transport, and it is a flume. Otari is somewhat famous for building this engineering marvel to aid in the lumber trade. And Ezrin, you recall reading about this, and it did seem vaguely interesting, but you forgot all about it because you were studying other things like, world-rending magic and how to save the universe, that kind of thing. But now that you remember it, and you're looking at this engineering marvel that would seem out of place in just kind of a backcountry, backwater city like Otari. Otari is essentially a port town with maybe 1,000, 2,000 people living there. It's very small, but having this thing makes it distinctive, and so you feel maybe a little bit better about coming to this place.
Well, I got a 5, so Sela points to the log flume, looks at Ezrin, and says, "How many teenagers do you think have gotten hurt riding down that thing?"
Oh, dozens. But but they had fun.
Author's note: plenty, in fact. We call it riding the flume. It is an Otari tradition, as these adventurers will soon discover, I'm sure.
Do you think they stop people from doing it now?
I hope not. Why? Do you want to ride?
Maybe. I'm open to new experiences.
Good. We're gonna need that.
Okay, the wagon hits a bump, and the wagoneer says, well, we should be coming up close on the road. You should be able to see the city. It's down under the ridge there. And sure enough, looking out from the wagon, you can indeed see the city. I have it on the map there. If anyone is looking at the VTT or the Twitch stream, you should be able to see it. They are approaching from the east, so this road here is going to take you on a bridge, which is then going to eventually take you under the flume. It's basically a wooden aqueduct above you, and then down the not terribly treacherous but still steep cliff down to Otari. But where you are, near where that W is on the, well, you can't see the W on the map. Where you are, let's see if I can drag the map slightly. Yes, okay. Where the compass rose is on the map, you can see the city well enough from there. And sure enough, it is a quaint little seaside hamlet, essentially, with a large mix of, relatively new and some very old buildings, some of which are very large. Warehouses, manor houses. You also see a large domed building in the west of the town. I'm going to ping that as well. Oh, wrong button. This is the new D&D Beyond interface. Well, I mean new as in like within the last year or two. But
That's new.
It's still kind of new. It's interesting. And this domed building looks like a temple of some kind. Would either of you like to make a history check to see if you know what this is? Sela, you're going to get advantage.
Oh, excellent.
You can also make a religion check if you prefer. But history would work fine.
Okay, I got 14.
Great. Okay, Sela, you know that is the famous Dawnflower Library, which
Ooh.
is a temple/library sworn to Saren Ray, the Dawnflower. And you can see the light of the setting sun reflecting off its dome, casting beautiful kaleidoscopic radiance all around. It's a lovely sight. And we're going to cut from there briefly to a priestess who is at that moment inside the Dawnflower Library. And what would Kira be doing inside the library at this time of day, which is toward the end of the day? The sun is starting to set.
As the sun begins to set, we'll see a woman wreathed in blue and gold sort of robes with it seems that there's lighter armor underneath, even in the midst of what seems to be a peaceful place. Scimitar laid across her center, and a white wrap around a helm that currently sits next to her. With the sun starting to set, I think she's in a window that's beginning to face the sunset as the sky begins to change in color. And next to her, she has a sort of pile of scrolls in books of myriad type. Some seem to be religious texts. Ones near sort of the middle of the stack are classier literature. As she goes back and forth and tries to find functionally what seems to be anything of interest to her, anything that it seems like the light in the past sort of hours, as the light has caught off of anything reflective hanging and seemed to highlight the back of a book, she would walk and take it out and sit, scroll through, seeming trying to see if within was anything that she would take and learn as a message from Saren Ray, or if it was just something that could be interesting. Whether she knew now or whether it would show up later, she had no real way to know. But this has probably been whenever she finds herself at the Dawnflower Library in the later parts of the day or in the mornings when these beams of light find themselves bouncing across the reflective surfaces and through the stained glass. She gets kind of trapped there in just the entrance of in the interest of trying to see signs from her goddess all about. And at the moment she's sort of sat nigh repose, going through, I think, a larger scroll very carefully, trying to make sure not to damage it. Though those that may look at her see a beat of great focus that is trying to stave off boredom at whatever is actually in the contents and try to find something interesting within it.
So, Kira is engaged in meditative studying and trying to maintain her focus, which is the perfect time for a chaos gremlin to intervene. Okay, Maurizio, what are you up to?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I am sitting in the window, the same window that's allowing in the rays of the sun goddess with the setting of the sun, blocking some of those with my silhouette as I sharpen some daggers from my brace of daggers. Even though this might not be the most respectful, place to do such a thing, it's my interest, my learning is how to better keep Kira safe by stabbing things. So really it is for the service of Saren Ray, kind of in an offhand, roundabout sort of way. But mostly my daggers are sharp enough, and I know this. I'm just watching Kira. I'm just watching Kira as she finds inspiration in the most beautiful and simple of things, because I am slightly besotted.
Is either of you going to break the silence, or are you just going to be besotted silently with one another?
I think there is a beat after a while where, as Kira's kind of like moving through this, and sort of sits, she gets a good portion of the way through the scroll. I don't think she actually finishes it. Uh, as boredom overtakes focus, and she kind of like sets it and looks up in a quiet prayer for a hope for Sarah and Ray. Please, please, I beg you, give me something slightly more interesting to read. And looks towards where the light was going through and sees the silhouette of Maurizio cast across what she has been using to find what book to read next, and kind of looks at it, turns back to look at Maurizio, her face, like the whole of her white hair caught by the rays of the sun. For there's a moment where sort of the warm softness sets in the tops of her cheeks, before the sides of her eyebrows sort of drop. My blessing. If you could, I was using this for study. The light needs to come through the window. Light though you are.
Oh, am I blocking the light?
Oh,
And
are you?
she grins. She knows. She's been waiting for the sun to sink behind her so that, I didn't want to interrupt your study. You looked so lovely focusing or trying to.
Working on it. Yes, I have
Working on it.
studies.
Perhaps you have studied enough.
The sun has a little bit more to say. And I think there's a beat where she like looks and like there's, as she's sharpening the dagger, there's like a glint from the light off of it that she kind of like covers. And as she like moves and covers her face from it, her face turns slightly and sees that a glint off of the sun, off of a dagger, has sent another book. And Mauricio sees a woeful face as she turns and sees the dagger bounce off and there's like, oh, all right. The sun sets in...
The gods work in mysterious ways, my dear. I guess you'd better see what's in that book.
I imagine her eyes sort of pan across. And just like, you are right. Are you going to
Impossible?
continue
Am I impossible?
I didn't say that with my mouth.
Just disappointed.
And she kind of like stands. I was like, the sun should set in 35 minutes, and then I am yours. But until then, she gets up, pulls the book that was illuminated, sits back, and sort of glances across the cover, and continues trying to read.
Mauricio gets out of the fading light, but does so by sort of scrunching down in the windowsill and making herself a little bit come hithery. Without being disrespectful or propping a boot up on the sill or the window jamb or anything that would get her yelled at by a librarian.
She's just propping up cake.
You did ask me to move out of the light.
Whether the glow on her cheeks is the beginning of the red of the setting sun and the way that its amber fingers turn the sky, or a blush that creeps across her cheeks and nose and tips of her ears, it's kind of hard to tell. Despite that, she moves closer to Mauricio and sits reposed, like, you are appreciated. And she goes and commits great focus into reading this book.
Excellent.
Now, as she's come down closer to her.
Excellent.
Mauricio is focusing firmly on her fingernails, pairing them with, not pairing them, but, buffing them a bit with the flat of a blade absolutely pretending to ignore Kira, who said she needed 35 more minutes, so she's going to give her those 35 more minutes.
And we shall leave aside this impending disaster for a more pressing disaster. So, let us instead look and find out what our Baybarian Amiri is up to. What trouble has she got herself into this time?
I imagine that she is probably being dragged to jail right now.
Excellent. You are being dragged to the garrison.
And like, so she is basically, just woke up like this, wearing next to nothing, has a sword strapped to her back that is almost as big as she is and half as wide. She is made of muscle. And is just screaming her head off at these poor guards who are clearly used to this. Like, it does not seem entirely clear if she's sober, but like the thing that can be heard is her just yelling like, well, if he didn't want to get punched in his face, he shouldn't have had such a punchable face.
It is definitely true. Yep, the guards, just long-suffering, the garrison of Otari, are taking you back to be locked in the drunk/Amiri tank again.
She's just like literally like waving hi to people like, oh, hey, Sal, how's it going? Is that a haircut? Oh my God, it's so cute. Anyway, you need to wash your hands. That is not okay. I'll like get to my sword.
They put you behind bars under the observation of an aging man, probably nearer to his 60s than to his 50s, with a big white mustache, slightly large in his older age, named, unfortunately, Lardus Longsaddle. Lardus Longsaddle. He has not always got the best reputation with that particular name, and he is the long-suffering master of the garrison of Otari. And he says, back again, are we?
You missed me, baby.
Kelid, I could not miss you. It would be like missing the broadside of a barn. Why don't you just sleep it off and not try and destroy the cage bars again?
You don't think I can do it? Is that what you're saying?
Oh!
I can totally bend these bars so fast.
Humph, he blows out his mustaches. I know you can do it. I'm saying I don't want you to do it.
Then give me something to bend instead, like a neck.
Let me see if Blades for Glades has got something that you can bend instead. I'm sure that Carman will fix you right up. Maybe I'll have you bend his neck. What an asshole. Anyway, you stay right there, and I'll get you something. He closes the door, and you hear his boot steps up the stairs.
You're the best!
There is indeed someone in the cell next to you, which you realize this only belatedly after you've had this loud shouting conversation, who looks absolutely petrified to be in the same cell as you. This is a slight, kind of like lightly tanned, dark-haired man who is probably like a thief of some kind. Not a warrior, not a fighter. Not somebody that you fought in your brawl, which was mostly with the guards, to be fair.
Well,
And
and,
he-
the guy with the punchable face.
And the guy with the punchable face. This is not that guy. His face is somewhat punchable, however. You have found in your travels that many faces are punchable. And he looks at you and he says, "Hi."
Like, Amiri looks at the guy and just belches loudly.
Oh. All right. And thus, our triumphant heroes established. We shall draw them together as one draws rays of the sun like a prism. Or is that a prism that disperses rays of the sun? I will think of a better metaphor for when this goes to print.
Ezra is so worried that he has a punchable face.
So the wagon bumps down the path to Otari. And Ezrin, you were reminded of a letter that you have in your pocket. You have consulted it several times throughout the journey, but lately you've been preoccupied by your conversation with Sela and by the interesting architectural stylings of the flume. And now that you are coming to Otari, it is more obvious that you remember this letter.
Well, and it's so funny because I actually, before I read it again, Sela would see me again take out a few ritual components and spend a solid 10 minutes just
10 minutes.
muttering to myself and like doing things before I read the letter, because helpfully they wrote the letter in a language I don't understand. They said it was to keep it secret and to, you know, like help keep from prying eyes. I said it was damn inconvenient.
Alrighty.
But now that I have done the appropriate magics of which I am newly acquired, so that I can read it, I obsessively read it once again to refresh myself on the details because I am nothing if not thorough.
Great. Okay. Sure enough, it is a missive from one Rin Zivinsky, who is a medium and a seller of curios in Otari. An occultist or an antiquarian, if you will. Like, she listed all of these things that you could call her. You got the sense that they might be things that people have called her in the past. And she has sent a formal request for help to the Pathfinder Society of Absalom. Since nobody wanted to investigate this, the letter ended up in your possession. Ezrin, who is a neophyte Pathfinder member, as in he is going to become a Pathfinder member. He is not yet the masterful wizard and honored, beloved Pathfinder member that he would be in times to come, or in real life, if you prefer. Author's note.
Have I, Sela, would you feel like I have shared this with you before? I feel like I would have, but
Probably the gist
maybe
of
just
it, maybe
summarized
not.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That said, Sela does totally lean over Ezrin's shoulder as if to read the letter as well. I'm 100% certain whatever it's written in, it's not a language that she can read, but she's gonna act like she can.
Okay.
Yeah.
She just wants to feel included.
The letter
And I'll
contains...
play along with that.
Yep.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Eric.
Sorry. The letter contains a great deal of esoteric kind of ramblings about philosophy and the occult truth of the world. And also it says that the gaunt light has begun to glow once again, forewarning us all of a coming doom. And we are in need of powerful heroes to come and thwart whatever evil is in the offing.
Now, see, this is a person I can respect. You know, Otari, look at the knowledge that they have here.
Oh yeah,
they
absolutely.
They don't just ask for help. they show you that they are worthy of your help by showing the knowledge and the dedication and the study. This is a person that
Showing
I am
their work,
excited-
absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, and with this gauntlet, Eric, how much do I know about the gauntlet?
Make a history check, please.
All right.
Can I also make a history check?
Yeah.
Ooh, so much better.
Oh.
23.
Yeah, I got a 7.
Okay, so Sela, you are pretty sure that gaunt means like tall and skinny, and light is, well, light. So logically, this lighthouse is tall and skinny. Why that would make it famous, you're not really sure. But you try to keep an open mind about these things.
I saw a village that was really proud of having the largest ball of twine once, so I'm not gonna pass any judgment.
Look, the wanderings of a knight errant take you far and wide.
You see many things.
Ezrin, you have done your research, and
I am so happy to mansplain anything that Sela is willing to listen to about it.
oh my god. All right, so
Oh,
the Gauntlet, according to your research, is a lighthouse-like tower that was attached to the stronghold of an evil sorceress or occultist, it's a little hard to say, called Belcora. And you're struggling to remember her last name. Belcora does strike in your mind, though. Who plagued the region 500 years ago. Absalom did exist at the time. Otari did not, however. This predates the existence of the port city itself, which was built, as you understand, by the adventuring party that defeated Belcora in honor of one of their members.
So, now that we are close to the city, pay attention. I know you can get very distracted by all of your
hey, I'm listening. I'm
things
listening.
that you do as a God-fearing person. But
Oh, yeah.
we have to focus because this is important. There's
Locked in.
Evil. You're down for defeating evil, I assume?
Yes. Yeah, who
Okay.
isn't? Let's
Excellent.
go.
This is why you're here. So, evil, horrible, magical lady, and we are going to save this town, and it's going to be epic, and they're going to write stories about it. Well, I'm going to write a story about it. You see him in the journal that he's been writing in. It's like day 1, rain, and then about 7 paragraphs of the details about the rain and how epic the rain was because he doesn't have anything else to write about. And we are going to write an epic about it. We're going to go back to the Pathfinder Society. They're going to hail us as heroes.
Great. So why is this lady evil?
Oh, I don't know, some sort of dark sorcery or something. That's what we're going to find out. Maybe Rin knows. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Author's note, the real-life Ezrin did write extensive reports about this incident, which you should not consult before reading this chapbook.
I would also just like to note that Sela's assumption was not wrong. Tall, skinny, lighthouse. Tower, that is like a lighthouse. She was correct.
Her knowledge has never steered her wrong.
Yeah. In the knowledge that I have about Belacora, did I hear anything about types of sorcery or types of sort of shenanigans that she was up to?
It was, okay, so the terminology was definitely sorcery, which is a branch of magic, a field of study that you don't understand too well. Sorcerers, I don't know exactly what Ezrin's opinion of sorcerers are, but sorcery is very different from the wizarding magic that you study.
Right, so
it means
lazy
that she
layabouts, so they're
probably
just,
yeah.
gifted with privilege.
Yeah, she. it is people who use their privilege to cast magic. Yes, she was. She derived her power from some dark source.
Got it. Okay.
Are all sorcerers deriving their power from some dark source? Who can say? But Belcora definitely was, and there's some speculation about. Aberrations, abominations, terrible things that man was not meant to know. That sort of thing.
There's the darkness I was looking for.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Something about non-Euclidean, which is a term that Ezrin very much dislikes. because it really just means mathematics on a curve, like Galarian's curved. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
He'll talk at length about it if you let him.
I don't know. Will Sela let him talk about?
Sela will let him go on for approximately 15 minutes.
15 minutes of esoterica. Okay.
Yeah. And, active listener. And then, so she hurt people.
Oh, yeah, lots of people.
That's what I needed to hear. Thank you. Thank you.
You're pretty sure that
Yeah, absolutely.
historically
Okay.
she was a self-proclaimed enemy of Absalom and wished to destroy the city. And she mounted some sort of attack against Absalom.
I mean,
know
I'm
the
just saying,
details.
enemy of Absalom, want to destroy the city. There's plenty of people who say that just because they spent an afternoon there. Like, that's not really.
Yeah.
I want to say
Some people just don't like
captions,
cities.
the captions almost got Absalom correct. Oh, they got it that time.
Ezrin will begin to review the proposed schedule for the day with you, also noted in the journal, which is like, okay, so like 10:15 a.m. we visit Rin. 10:25 p.m. we finalize mission purpose. Like 10:35 p.m. we achieve all supplies that we need to and then he proceeds to go through in 10-minute increments again until you stop him.
Yeah, again, he gets about 15 minutes of that where he can just talk and, active listener, and then be like, cool. Are there enough pubs in this town for there to have a best one? Do you know that? Sela turns to the wagon cart rider. Do you know that? Is there multiple pubs? Is there a best pub in town, or is this an only one situation?
Yep. Well, if you're looking for a place to drink that's peaceful and a place to stay, you want to find the Rowdy Rockfish. It sounds rowdy, but it's not. It's actually a real nice place to stay, and I think you like it a lot.
That's a hilarious misnomer. I love it.
Yeah, it's real funny. Nobody can really say exactly why it's called that, but that's what it's called. Some years ago, I would have directed you to the Thirsty Alpaca, but it was taken down by some varmints that burrowed underneath, and it collapsed under its own weight. Real tragedy if you take my meaning.
So termites. They had termites.
Oh my gosh.
Well, termites more like
Dark aberrant termites?
more like cobbles. You know, cobbles?
Kobolds?
Yeah, cobbles. That's what I said.
Yes, that is what you said.
Yeah, they done destroyed it, and now it's supposedly haunted. Anyway, you don't want to stay
attempts
there.
to be like, actually, it's pronounced, and then they just talk over him.
Yeah.
You could.
Haunted, have you ever seen a ghost?
Ghosts don't exist no more than magic does. Anyway, you could also go to the Crook's Nest, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you got some friends of yours who was crooks, because it's called the Crook's Nest. It's where the crooks nest. You know, crooks.
So it's not a rowdy rooster situation.
Oh no, but
Rowdy rockfish.
it's a lot rowdier than the Rowdy Rockfish, if you take my meaning.
Okay. I get it. Thank you.
If you're looking for supplies, there's several places to buy those. There's the Otari Market that can hook you up with whatever you need, unless you're looking for weapons or armaments, in which case you go to look for the Blades for Glades. It's where Carmen Rajani creates blades for glades, for clearing trees from glades. You know, glades of trees. You know trees, right?
Yeah, catchy name.
Yeah, he thought it was real clever. Anyway, there's also Odd Stories. It's a bookshop. The slightly queer wizards do sell those books there.
Sela smacks Ezrin's shoulder in a friendly manner, like, hey, that's up your alley, right?
Point of order. I just heard him say, magic, that stuff that doesn't exist. and
Oh
then he
no, I
referenced
was
wizard.
just kidding.
Help
I
me
know
reconcile
magic
that.
does exist.
Okay, I was about to mage hand his hat off his head just to make a point, but that's fine.
Author's note: this version of Ezrin might be accused of being petty. This was not my intention. Anyway,
Maybe if he didn't have such a smackable face.
I heard you say something about Rin. Would that be Rin Svinsky?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, the weirdo. She done run a curio shop in the north of the town. You'll be able to find it. It's the weirdest looking building you ever did see.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know about interesting, but it certainly is a place.
Ezra just mutters to himself. Of course, he thinks that weirdo, probably the most interesting person in town. Weirdo, backwater piece of.
What other sites around town would you recommend while we're here?
Oh, well, if you're gonna talk to the mayor, that would be the Menemez Manor. The Menemez has always ruled Otari. Since there was a Menemez who was the leader of the Rose Guard that
The Rose Guard, right,
established the town, and they've always been leaders, except for the time when the kobolds took over Otari and collapsed the alpaca. That was real sad. But then another Menemez was elected leader. Carman Rajani keeps trying to become the mayor, but ain't nobody gonna vote for that boy. Oh, and you probably want to see the Dawnflower Library. It's what draws a lot of people from all around. Lots of books. You like books, right?
Oh,
Ezra
yes.
perks up at that. It was like, what kind of books?
I don't know
That
about
sounds-
books myself. You understand? But I know
That
that
sounds
books are
vaguely-
pretty interesting. Interesting, that's the word, right?
Yeah.
I assume that we've gone by the town at this point and seen the domes.
You
and
had, yeah,
I
you
wa-
can see the town. He's kind of pointing out. Sometimes it's kind of vague. Like he's like,
Looking great.
Blades for Glades is over there. He just points at a bunch of buildings, and he's like, the Dawnflower Library, that's over there. He points to the domed building. Oh, and when he said about Rin's Vinci's place, he pointed to what looks like this like pavilion, like a giant tent, kind of at the
Incredible.
north of town, that the wagon crosses relatively near. He says,
Okay.
That's Rin's,
that's Rin's place, yeah.
the tent.
He says, I'm going to drop you at the Rowdy Rockfish, if you don't mind.
That'd be wonderful. Thank you kindly.
Wonderful, wonderful. I hear that you're meeting friends in the city. Is that the case?
Is it?
Is it the case?
Ezrin, you recall, oh yeah, you did receive another letter. This was a letter from Kira, your Sarenrae worshipping priestess comrade who you had met in the past. Author's
okay.
note, no, this is not a spontaneous edit that I've just had to do real fast. Kira, what did this letter say?
Well, that does beget me a question to you,
Yes.
our prestigious dungeon master. Is there anything that has been a clear issue that Kira has been worried about that has spurred her into like scrawling over these texts?
Vibes are bad.
That is a really good suggestion, and I think that's what is the case. The vibes are bad. You got to Otari along with Mauriziel, because you two have been traveling together for some time. You're traveling companions, road mates, if you will. Turns out they were road mates. Huh.
And they were roadmates.
And you immediately knew that something was off. That there was some creeping darkness in this place. You also know that Otari is very close to Absalom. Your old friend Ezrin, with whom you have many spirited disagreements, lives in Absalom, and this might be a good chance to meet him and or recruit him for fighting a terrible evil encroaching upon the city. Whether you
if-
mention that in the letter or not is entirely up to you.
I think then that the letter's contents would be something to the effect of, Wizard Ezrin, I have found myself in the village of Otari, close to Absalom, in which you have, to my memory, take up residence. Upon my entering, I have noticed that there seems to be a darkness lurking in the area. I have, upon my own intentions, investigated to attempt to find the, let us call it source thereof, and have come up naught. It is not, I do not write you lightly, but believe that perhaps your magics may be able to find something where mine have failed. Study of the area has proven to find very little, and I worry there is only so much that I can do here before Mauricio begins to become bored. If you could lend your expertise to me, in the best case of scenarios, I have found and reacted to something unnecessarily. In the worst, but I suppose best for you and your order, something nefarious does lie here, and I cannot find it alone. In light, Kira.
So with that context, I say to the wagon driver, yes, my friend Kira lives here. I mean, or no, she doesn't live here. She's here, but I mean,
You're
I
right
don't know.
now.
And I turn to
She's
Steele and
not
be
undead
like,
here, right?
Yeah.
We take a dim view toward undead here.
Yeah. She may be a unserious investigator, but at least she's good with words. It's one of the things I've always respected about her. She really knows how to speak her mind and speak it clearly, even if she's really, really just kind of lazy about investigating things. Vibes, you know, vibes.
Let me ask
We're going to
this.
investigate this.
Yeah. Let me ask this other question. Mauriziel, did any note from Mauriziel end up in this letter, with or without Kira's knowledge, and or doodles?
Doodles, you say? I'm sure I don't doodle.
I will say
But-
for your concept, Mary, there was this letter probably took more than one day to write. It probably got started and then Kira's like, I don't need him, and got up and went and did more, and then came back the next day reaching a dead end, wrote more of the letter, is like, no, you know what? I should have checked this place, and went and left, came back. So there was probably a non-insignificant amount of time where this was just in a place, and then one day it was finally actually in a envelope.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Is there enough of a weirdness that Mauricio would have detected something being off?
Make an insight check, please.
I will check my insight.
I will give you advantage because Mauriziel does know Kira pretty well.
Well, that's a span.
Ooh. Why, yes. It seems that Kira is definitely preoccupied, concerned about something. If she is going to trouble the cranky old wizard Ezrin, then it means that she is definitely in need of some help.
Okay, so if you're sensitive to these things, you would be able to see that the envelope has been steamed open and reclosed. And there is a little note, not of the same stationery, but smaller, like it was very carefully cut out of a piece of that stationery with a very sharp dagger. And it reads, "Something is troubling here. I cannot figure it out either. Kira is truly distracted in a way that only evil distracts her. Signed, M."
That one I would have kept separate, but like in a actual like very protected place, because yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
There's, while Mauricio has a different kind of sort of intelligence than I have, it's an intelligence that I respect and value.
It's a
Oh, so she's not lazy?
Well, it's more than just vibes with you. You
Okay.
know?
No, she's actively been like searching around in the dead of night to, see if anything is up. And maybe that is different than waiting for signs from above
Yeah.
when the sun is out. I don't know.
author's note. The iconic Maurizial is commonly thought of as extremely lazy and would rather lie around and enjoy herself rather than do any work or any investigation. Do not believe this propaganda. Maurizial is amazing and talented and a wonderful investigator. And no, I am not in love with her. Why would you ask me that anyway? Author's note ends.
Lies, slander, and lies. I'm lazy as well.
So I would
Such
turn
It's a
to
lazy
Sela.
thing.
I would turn to Sela and be like, and you, I think you and Kira are gonna get along. I think you're gonna like her. You have a lot
Oh,
of.
I know
common-
Kira.
Oh,
That's
you
my
do?
girl. Yeah.
Oh. Did I know that? Sorry.
Maybe.
The world.
You probably told me on the trip, and I was too busy.
I was even gonna
something
say
else to
you made an
or writing in
offhand
my
rep.
journal.
I was even gonna say maybe you made a comment about getting a letter from Kira, and Seal was like, "Oh, I know Kira. If she says something's up, sure, I'm absolutely coming along."
And I totally missed it because Ezra.
Yeah, for the third time, I know Kira. Yes, I know who she is. We've met.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's my
great.
girl.
So that makes sense.
Fantastic.
Of course you do.
So as the
You all know
wagon
each other, right?
as the wagon is heading down the kind of main drag of Otari, there is a small city, a small town. You can see there are only so many large streets, and one of them is named Rajani, and one of them is named Manhamez, one of them is named Zarverdian, and you're pretty sure those are famous people based on things that the Wagoneer said. As you're heading down this main street, you do see a scuffle. A small woman who appears to be made entirely of muscle, carrying around a sword that is longer than she is tall and more than half as wide as she is wide, is brawling with a number of folk who appear to be guards in their blue outfits of Otari. And you recognize this woman, although perhaps the present circumstances would dictate that you should not appear to recognize this woman, as Amiri, a Kelid barbarian, which is such a barbaric term. Why would anyone apply that to anybody? And she is doing what she loves best, fighting. However, it is a
Which of us
fight.
recognizes her?
Both of you do. The conceit of this is that all of you iconics know each other. You might not know each other knows each other, but you all do know each other.
Upon seeing her, I immediately cast Mage Armor.
Yeah. It does seem to be a fight she is destined to lose, however, because there are 4 of them and 1 of her.
Yeah, Sela starts to stand up in the wagon like she's gonna say something, pauses, assesses the fight, sits back down. Yeah, let's let her sober up a bit first.
You do see a middle-aged man with big mustaches going like this,
We'll get her from the drunk tank later.
and the Wagoneer says, "Oh, that's Captain Longsaddle. He runs the garrison."
All right, and whereabouts is that?
Oh, I can point you.
Yeah.
You want to go to the Rockfish first?
Yeah, just point in the general direction of the garrison so we can find it later. That'd be cool.
Yep. He points to it. It's not very far away. It's just down the block. And then he takes.
Thank you.
we're-
Amiri's
As we're
just
driving.
yelling, "Hey, cab!"
As we're driving by, I can see a guard that is about to sort of like sucker punch Amiri on the side.
Yep.
And if I can, I'll flick out a quick mind sliver to distract him so that she can catch him and then like not get sucker punched.
Does that require an attack roll or a saving throw on his part?
It is a saving throw on his part, an intelligence 13 saving throw, and I'm hoping it will be subtle because I'm in the wagon.
Cool. Yeah, he's all set to sucker punch Amiri, and then he just kind of like, it just misses. Like he almost punches himself. And then he's kind of looking around like, what just happened?
And I look at Sela and be like, what?
I didn't see anything.
Good.
I was looking at the rockfish.
Oh, God.
Okay, the Wagoneer drives you to
Let's
the
get some
Rowdy
drinks.
Rockfish. Despite its name, the Rowdy Rockfish is the quietest and quaintest of Otari's taverns. A sigil depicting a rockfish with its fins up in a in a boxing pose is on the arms of the inn.
That is one rowdy-looking rockfish.
That's right. But within, the calm demeanor of its patrons leads you to wonder if this might be the one tavern in the inner sea to never host a barroom brawl. It looks peaceful. Everybody's sitting around, having their drinks, relaxing.
So this is not where Amiri drinks, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, you're pretty sure.
Okay, cool.
There is a woman behind the bar, a red-haired dwarf woman, who is cleaning out tankards. She appears to be the owner, near as you can tell. There is no other staff, just her. She sees you come in. She nods to you. Welcome to the Rockfish, travelers. She seems tired and maybe a little sad. Maybe it's just been a long day. Maybe there's something more.
What time of day is it?
It's evening.
Okay.
Like the sun is starting to set.
I intentionally hang back because I feel like Sela is probably better with people than I am.
All right, yeah, Sela will go on up. Evening. Thank you so much for the welcome. Can I get an ale for me and my friend back there?
Of course. I'm Brelda Venkervale. I do run this here Rockfish. My son used to run it, but he's been gone for a while now. She pours you an ale.
Where'd he go?
That's just it. Just up and disappeared. Probably left town. You know, folk often do.
Run off to the city?
Maybe.
About how long ago was that?
I would like you to make a persuasion check, please.
Alrighty. Oh, okay. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Okay.
11.
Okay. All right. She looks off into the middle distance, gets kind of a sad look in her eye, and she says, Lazda, my son, he done disappeared about a little over a year ago.
Oh, gosh.
A few locals said they saw him walking outside of town with a hooded stranger carrying a lantern. Never saw him since. It's been a long time. I kept expecting he'd come back, but maybe he's gone for good.
Man, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you kindly. You seem like a nice person.
I certainly try. What direction did he go off in? Like toward the city or?
Can't say. Probably off into the fog fens.
Mm-hmm. Do a lot of people go missing that way or?
More than you'd think.
Oh gosh, that's
so
awful.
many wisps.
Mm.
Spirits of the departed. You know, they dwell among the trees in the fog fens. Them's north of town.
Mm-hmm.
Fens where life can't really support itself, you know. There's a distinction between a marsh and a fen. Anyway, it's not important. The point is, he disappeared and ain't nobody seen him, I don't think.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry to hear that. It's terrible to lose a child that way.
Agreed. I like to think that he's happy wherever he is. Though you can see that she's still a little bit sad. You have changed her demeanor from indifferent to friendly.
Well, what'd you say his name was?
Lasda.
Lasda. Well,
Lasdas. Lasda.
well, maybe he did just go off to find his fortune elsewhere. I do a lot of traveling, and I'll keep an eye out. And if I ever see him, I'll tell him his mama wants to hear from him.
I'd be much appreciative. You need rooms as well? Lodging?
I think we will, but we're meeting some friends here, so
Oh,
let me
yeah?
wait till all our party get here, and I can give you an appropriate number.
Only so many places to stay in town. What are your friends like? And it is at that moment that Kira and Maurizio are on their way back to their lodgings at the Rockfish from the Dawnflower Library. This involves crossing the bridge, and let me make sure of that. Yes, this involves crossing the bridge. The bridge is where the Crook's Nook is, and Maurizio has taken a certain interest in the Crook's Nook. Like, Kira, you've traveled with Maurizio long enough to know that, like, shady places attract her attention. And so when you pass the Crook's Nook, how does Maurizio react?
Little twitchy.
Little twitchy?
Little twitchy, just kind of sizing it up, and I guess in layperson's terms, you could call it a perception check as she walks by.
Okay.
But she knows that we're here to meet friends, and she's seen the letter that she doesn't know if Kira knows that she's seen. So she's a little more focused than she might usually be.
You're making an active perception check? Go ahead. and roll.
Yes.
Okay. Kira, you recall that you and Maurizio had a conversation about where to stay in town, and she said, "Oh, how about there? Why not there? That looks great." And it did not look great to you.
By great, Mauricio means the kind of place that houses a thieves' guild.
That's right.
So that's a 22 on perception.
Okay,
Is
so
that a nat 20?
That is a nat 20.
excellent.
That's a nat 20.
Our
So
first nat 20.
I will explain a couple of special house rules. Well, specifically, I'll explain the Nat 20 house rule. Now, skill checks are not an automatic success if you roll a 20. Now, why did I have you roll a die if it was impossible for you to succeed, you ask? Well, sometimes you roll a die without me telling you to, and if you roll a 20, you still want something to happen. So if you roll a 20 on a skill check, regardless of whether you actually succeed or not, you will get some insight, some special information that you wouldn't normally have gotten. If that 20 is a success, you will succeed and you will get some extra benefit. In this case, there was something to notice, and you will also notice an extra thing. So, Maurizio, as you are passing the Crook's Nook, you hear the sounds of laughter and kind of boastful voices upstairs in the Crook's Nook, and you hear the slap, thunk of dagger throwing. Like, you recognize that sound very distinctly.
Yeah, I
They're
kind of know that sound.
throwing knives into targets, which makes your
Normal.
heart yearn just a little bit more. And you are pretty sure that one of the people up there throwing daggers is the town smith, Carman Rajani. You have not met Carman specifically, but you recognize him from just cruising around town, walking past the smith, checking things out. He's very distinctive.
So he throws daggers like he's got something to prove, in other words.
Sounds like it. You know a little bit about the Crook's Nook. The owner of the Nook is a lanky woman named Yin Yasmira. She seems to be, well, I don't necessarily want to say a kindred spirit with Maurizio, but
Come on.
she's
It's the Crook's Nook.
She's a bit shady. Yeah, it's true. She's indifferent to strangers, and she probably takes a dim view of thieves operating in the town without her express permission. You know that she leads whatever Otari has of a thieves guild. They have not made any direct overtures to recruit Maurizio or reach out to her, but you have felt observed from time to time. Okay.
Okay.
If there's anything else that you want to discuss, do so now. Otherwise, you're going to get to the Rockfish, and you're going to meet up with these two others.
Mary?
Just going to show remarkable restraint. No. It's okay,
Yeah.
Kira. We have friends to meet.
Okay. Is this the place where I should be?
We are going to where we should be.
Okay.
Together.
She reaches out and kind of like hooks Pinky as they walk. Right.
Oh.
I did say that I was yours, should the sun set. Though we do have people to meet, and I would. Have you met Ezrin before?
I have seen Esrin, but I don't know if he's seen me.
What a Maurizio answer.
Fun. Well, I suppose we are soon to find out. At the very least, we will see. I have called him to have a brief conversation and find his expertise. Best case scenario, he will find nothing. I have found very little. And we will be able to continue to enjoy our time here together.
Mm-hmm.
She gives a little hopeful squeeze.
Maurizio squeezes back. She says, the smith is upstairs in the Crook's Nook.
There's
shooting,
like
shooting daggers at the wall. That's all I noticed. That's all.
there's a brief look across that Mary might recognize. There's just a shoot across Kira's face of confusion, and then an unspoken, "How the hell?" Okay, all right. That was hot somehow. And we'll sort of nod. Well, he is an older man. He will want to go to bed somewhat sooner, I imagine. So I'm sure that you will be able to take your time and shoot your darts.
No, I don't want to shoot darts. I'm just sharing with you what I've observed because I've observed it, and I like sharing with you. I don't want to go shoot darts with him. I don't want to embarrass the blacksmith and hopeful mayor of this town. That would be rude of me. But I hear he's up there, thunking into the wall, missing the target.
Oh, the shade.
There's a brief moment in her face where Kira has a moment where she wants to let her off the leash a little bit, and is like, you clearly want to go do this thing, but doesn't want to remove away from the ideas that this time has been given to her. So she takes it in herself. All right, then, for Ned's purposes, this probably should not take too long. Let us go see the old man.
And then we have time for each other.
Then we have time for each other.
Mm-hmm. Not for stupid boys throwing darts.
So, as you're finishing up this conversation, you see two cloaked figures kind of hurrying down the street in your general direction. They appear to be cloaked at first, but as they grow closer, you can see that there's just one big blanket over both of them. And one of them is saying, "Quiet, we gotta be sneaky, quiet." And the other one is loud and still a little bit drunk and belligerent.
I am being quiet.
No, not like
This
that.
is my quiet voice.
Look, we escaped, okay? But if they find us again, they're gonna take us
Then
back.
I'll fight them. I'll
No.
beat them all up. I can beat all of them up.
That's what happened to you the first time. Oh, look, there's the Nook. Okay, good luck. And he just abandons the blanket, flies up into the air, and he runs past. He nods to Maurizio and Kira, ladies, and then he heads into the Nook.
Bye, little guy.
And then Maurizio and Kira, you are face to face with Amiri.
There is certainly a brief moment where, in the usual amount of perhaps slightly too much respect to give Amiri in the moment, like hand on the palm of the scimitar, dipped shoulder, head drops. Amiri of the Six Bears, it is a pleasure to see you again.
Oh, you say the sweetest things, Kira.
Oh, you are very
Who's your new who is your new friend?
I will say I'm like not nearly as drunk as I was. Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Just a
only
little bit,
like
just a little bit.
you know, like I was like this drunk, and now I'm like this drunk.
Just like one finger, not
Yeah,
4
yeah.
fingers drunk.
Yeah, exactly, narrator.
Yes,
Very
author's
s-
note.
Maris, have you met Amiri before?
Yes. Do you remember? It's okay if you don't. It's okay.
You see that moment, that look of panic on Amiri's face, where she's like, "Did I meet her before? Did I don't know." And like you can like literally see her entire thought process on her face as she's trying very desperately to rack her brain, and finally she says, "Yes."
She would have been Knife Lady.
No! Oh my god! By the gods, man. The way that you threw those blades that one time into that dude and you cut off his mustaches, that was so
And
Well,
I turn to Kira and says, "She does remember me."
I don't know if I was there for that part in particular.
Who was your new friend? Is this someone we'll meet again?
Please forget about me.
Oh my god! I mean, did he
They were
tell me his
cellmates.
name?
They were cellmates.
Yeah, he was the coolest little guy. I could like pick him up by the scruff of his neck, and like if I'm not a person to carry a purse, but if I was, he could go right.
Oh my god. Amiri, make an intelligence check to see if you remember the guy's name.
Oh no.
You have disadvantage because you were very drunk at the time.
Okay. Well, that's a 7 and a 6. Okay, so I rolled a 7.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
It was like something with like a C, like
All right.
Yeah.
So you're pretty sure there was like a C or like an S or maybe
there
a
was like
Z.
a lot of consonants.
There were a lot
in
of
there.
consonants in that name.
There's like, so many letters.
Yep.
All right.
My face
Amiri.
hurts with joy.
It's like Joe.
The-
So many letters.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure that like when he originally said his name, you just went zzz.
Like, that doesn't seem important.
So
Well, Amiri, dear friend,
Well,
we are going to the
nice.
bar if you would like to join us.
Don't bring her to the...
Yeah.
You said the magic
Nice.
word. You said the B word.
Absolutely.
You see
How
that she
did you know where I was
You see, she holds up a finger, but the bar we're going to is a quiet bar first.
What does that mean?
It means that you cannot start a fight there. I'm going to meet somebody, and he's old, and I'd really like his heart not to give out for the excitement of the attention.
Rude.
But like, it sounds like.
They still have nicer drinks.
But hang on though, if your friend is so weak that like a loud voice would kill him, then like maybe we'd be doing him a favor. Like, because
Hey.
dying in a comfortable bar, like that's a good way to go out. I mean, like the best way to go out would be like, you know, in like an epic battle with like 9,000 blades at your throat and like you're spinning around and there's like, you know, like ninjas and like all these dudes popping out, like maybe an orc is like,
I
Or,
think, as this-
author's note, going out by being by slaying an evil deity that threatens the entire world is a real epic way to go out. No reason I mentioned it.
You see that, like, as Amiri starts talking, Kira is just like looks back at Mauricio, and there's like the quiet, almost like, almost lip red conversation of like, I cannot leave her out in the streets. She will get the worst
You
trouble
can't.
here.
No.
If you want your blacksmith friend to have fun, and perhaps, you know, go the night uninjured, then we take her to a quiet place.
Yeah.
And it is like, as they're talking, just kind of like trying to direct Amiri's excitement so that they're still walking. And it's like, yes, we will speak to Ezrin, and I'm
my
sure you will be
God.
quick friends.
I don't know. Like, he's a man, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, last you checked.
It's like-
Did you
There's-
check?
There is a little head tilt from Kira that goes kind of unanswered. Yes, Amiri. He is a man, and I have asked him to be here.
And you just see like Amiri deflate because Kira's using like the parent voice.
Not his fault,
I-
Mary. Don't hold it against him.
I rest my hand on Amiri's shoulder and I say, this place we're going to, it's a quiet place for listening. And we're going to listen and listen quietly because we think there are people who have things to tell us.
That sounds so boring.
I will talk quietly with you if you'd like, while they
mean,
talk quietly themselves.
Okay, Amiri, you see a couple of guardsmen kind of like just strolling down the street, like looking
Yeah,
around.
let's go into that bar. Let's go right now. I think that's a great idea. We will like, and she just
While I'm patting her, I'm pulling the blanket up higher over her
Oh yeah,
her armaments on her back because
her sword pokes up
her
past the
giant
blanket.
sword
But, yeah,
gives
it's
her
like-
away. But at least the shiny parts are hidden now.
she's
you
got
know.
this kind of guts from Berserk thing going on, but like real short. Anyway,
I think I think like the last sort of like word before they get into the bar is like Kira, like kind of trying to whisper in the ears, like, what did you say to get her to listen so quickly? As they move into the Rowdy Rockfish. Genuinely seemingly confused, having it seems like not clocked the
It seems
guards.
like Merciel has performed magic. Yes, for the second time.
sure enough, Amiri pushes open the doors to the Rowdy Rockfish, which is not nearly as rowdy as she was hoping. And there is Ezrin, and there is Sela. Just enjoying a quiet ale,
Quietly.
quietly.
Oh my god, it's that dude!
Oh my god.
Ah,
Hey, Kira, Amiri, are you? Did they let you out already? I thought they'd keep you at least until morning when they saw them arresting you earlier.
and she like leans forward and says in like the loudest whisper, I broke out with this guy who did these things with these tools, and then it went like this, so I didn't even have to break the bars this time.
Oh my
Brelda,
gosh.
who has been cleaning the bar with the rag, just moves a little farther down the bar and starts cleaning a different part of the bar.
And like Amiri looks at Kira like, see, I'm using my quiet voice.
I turned to Kira, facing away from Amiri, and mouth to Kira. This time, she didn't even have to break the bars this time. Okay.
And it's just like, this time. And you watch about, let's call it about a cup of patience get scooped out of Kira and dump onto the floor. And she kind of just nods and moves up and sits at the bar next to Ezrin and Sela. She turns sort of up towards the bar. Is like, what are the usual?
Of course.
And-
It's like, Kira, are you drinking ale these days? You can have mine.
Ooh, wine preferred.
I'll take it.
Atta girl.
Amiri, you gain 1 ale. Yes,
The-
Lazda does indeed pour wine for Kira there.
And
So-
there,
I thought
There's a
Lazda was
moment-
her son's
Oh,
name.
yeah, sorry.
yeah.
Brelda does. Lazda is
Sorry.
the son, you're right. No, it's totally reasonable. The author's like, damn it, how did these typos get through? I really should have employed an editor.
There's this moment with Ezrin and Amiri where, perhaps surprisingly, he's like weirdly like warm and welcoming to Amiri. Like not weirdly, just weirdly based on like his general demeanor. And he like sort of walks up, clasps shoulders, and goes, "Genuinely glad to see you. I had no idea you'd
Aw.
be here."
Yeah, you know, they didn't even tell me it was you. They just told me they were gonna meet some like annoying, boring dude. But you're the annoying, boring dude I like.
Like, so like slowly turns to Mary. She's like, I certainly said the name Ezrin. I do not know if she heard me.
And Ezrin slowly turns to Kira and just raises one eyebrow.
Uh, Kira like taps her, like clinks her glass with her nail, and then points at Mary.
The struggling not to laugh is also very much in character, to be clear.
Sela is like, nightly demeanor, nightly demeanor, nightly demeanor.
They'll turn him. Kira, Sela, you know each other, I guess?
Hey, how you doing?
There is a moment of like it. Oh, I believe of genuine warmness. Of Kira leans forward. Primarily, she's done the like under most circumstances, kind of like the very subtle bow, but in this, still like goes and takes up one of Sela's hands and moves to like
Aw.
put their cheeks together.
Yes.
And is it's like, Sela, I did not expect you to be in town. I asked primarily for I asked for Ezrin. I did not know that there would be further accompaniment.
Ezra and I
What?
crossed paths on the way here, and he said your name, and so I knew I had to come.
And more importantly than that, Kira. Feelings? Really? I have already found out that there's dark aberrant sorcery afoot. Clearly there is evil in it. Of course, like, just read a book, Kira. Come on.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying there's like stuff we gotta fight?
Oh, inevitably.
There is
You should have left that!
once again clearly a cup of patience tips out of Kira and pours into the floor. It's like, you are right, Ezrin. I should have read. She looks at Mauricio. I'm sorry for wasting the past couple of hours, apparently, just staring at books and doing nothing. Perhaps the last couple of weeks could have been better served in anything else than spending the times in the Dawnflower Library, an investigation of the area.
Well,
That's
I'm
what
sure they
it's-
have one or two books in there that's worth reading. They're probably hard to find, but
See, you should have come out hunting with me or something, Kira. Like, touch grass sometimes. It's great. There's some really good grass on the northern side of the city. Great for touching.
Did she say touch grass or punch grass?
I think the answer to that is yes.
Okay, just checking.
There's
Marciel is caught up for a brief moment with Sela said that when she knew Kira was going to be here, she had to come. And that's a curious little note she's putting away for later. But mostly she's wondering how much she is able to reveal on her face about the fact that she read Kira's note and how much she should pretend to be surprised that there is evil in the area.
I think of that beat that Kira kind of like turns in her seat. There is there's a swirl of like a glass of wine in her hand. She looks like, well, it is good to see good company, and I wish, in truth, that there would be a better situation in which I could ask for your presence. But yes, the vibes were bad, Ezrin, and I ask about the Pathfinder Society. Is in my personal investigations, I was able to find very little, and I have had to find several different kinds of guidance that I could measure, but nothing that bore enough fruit that I could move against myself. I realize now that there perhaps is prudence to this. In the setting of the sun, I have found that she gestures wildly amongst the group assembled. Perhaps I was doing this too alone.
well,
And
I'm grateful. Really, this is exciting stuff. This is great. The Pathfinder Society sent me. This is gonna. Well, I don't want to get too much into it, but side to you, Eric. Like, so I know about the history, and I know about the fact that the Gauntlet Tower exists. That there's like dark sorcery.
Well, it
sort
did
of
exist at
aberrant
one
stuff.
time,
Or it
500
did
years
exist.
ago.
Got it. Okay. So I would proceed to sort of like lay out my journals and notes for Kira, sort of like where I basically copied down from probably other books that I wrote. That I
This
was
is an
studying
extensive
from.
process. Like, there are several books and like multiple pages of notes. Do you show
Right.
Kira the letter from Rin?
Yes, so I showed the letter from Rin and
Right.
like the history that I know is like, so yes, vibes definitely here. Dark vibes, very bad. Dark sorcery, give you the full biography of the person as far as I know it. Apparently there's this tower, like, so yes, clearly. And then I proceed to try and show you the schedule for the tomorrow day where we go and talk to Rin, we gear up, we go, we find the tower, we defeat the evil, we go home, and we have to.
Oh, bless him.
So Ezrin shows Kira a picture, like a sketch of the Gauntlet Tower, which is a historical landmark as far as his investigations have uncovered. But just looking at this thing, Kira, you get this kind of like dark premonition. Like, it just feels like someone walked over your future grave.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I think there's a moment where like you watch her kind of intaking information, and you hold up the picture of the Gauntlet Tower, and there's a moment of like, for lack of a better term, focus. Like she locks into that image, and you hear just the barest crack in the wine glass that she's holding. And in hearing that, it seems to like pull her out of it, and she sets it down, and like takes it out of her hand. And
Wine glass is cracked, indeed. Kira, would you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
for sure, I can give you one of those.
Wonderful.
That's a 7.
Oh, you definitely cut yourself on that glass. You take 1 point of slashing damage.
With my current hit point total, that actually sucks a lot. So it probably doesn't. It's not a inconvenient. It's not like a fully inconvenient type of cut either. It's like holding and like it's one of the situations where like the top part of the glass goes and her thumb goes across it, and it's one that like looks kind of fine, and then blood comes out.
Yep,
like,
blood
every time you
wells
hold
to
your
the
sword,
surface.
Oh,
problem
like
now.
the
Wells in the
paper
hand.
cut. Oh.
Yeah, and she kind of like goes down and like looks at it, and before doing anything at it, before doing like anything to actually close the wound, looks at the like watches the blood drip down her palm and sort of down her wrist.
Blood is very dark, much darker than you would expect.
And she kind of like grasps her hand around it before reaching out into a patch and out into her pack and starts to just like set a rag against it absentmindedly and put pressure to it. That tower is, I believe, an issue. I believe we delve a little bit deeper in this, and your individual Ren.
Wait, that tower's still here. It's not a ruin?
And for clarification, this is a ruin as far as I'm aware, right? Like there's nothing actually here.
You
as a
have
landmark.
not been to the Fog Fen yourself, so you don't know for sure.
Yeah, there's the moment where she shrugs. The Fog Fin has had many disappearances, and while I have a measure of distaste for the undead, I also have a measure of sense to not go out there on my own or risk my Mauricio.
No.
So,
Whoa, but we've got a Miri now, so we're good.
and
God damn right you are.
Oh, right, Sela. You've got holy magic. Yeah, sorry, Sela. Of course.
Speaking of at the same
Chopped
time,
liver.
well, that's fine because Sela actually reaches across the bar to put her hand over Kira's, and I'm gonna do a lay on hands.
Okay, you could just heal her for 1 hit point, and that'll close the cut, no problem.
there is the thing of like, just curiosity, Kelsey, what does that look like as the land hands actually goes?
Sela reaching out to, kind of gently put her hand. She's removed her gauntlet since, we're sitting at the bar. To put her hand on Kira's and just squeezing it very lightly as this soft blue glow appears between her hand and Kira's, kind of covering them both in just the faintest pleasant warmth before fading away again.
There's a brief moment where her hand comes back and she kind of turns it and like works her thumb. There's the hint of a smile before like leaning across the bar. I'm sorry to trouble you, Brelda. If I could get some water and a rag.
Oh, of course. Brelda has been standing there like, this is amazing. Oh, yes. And she pours water into a bowl and gives you a clean rag.
She takes a moment to just clean the blood away from the wound. Yes, the fen. I have not gone into it because I felt it an unnecessary risk for myself to go in alone, and a dangerous risk for myself and Mauricio. But if there were more of us, if you wish, she kind of like looks amongst the gathering to learn more, and yes, put danger to what could be an evil. I have not seen the tower myself, no, but you see she like stops for a moment and tries to like figure out how to say something. You can watch the process on her face before she locks on Ezran. before there is a beat where you look for what you should, there's a moment where intuition tells you to push to the right place. Intuition, if that's what you want to call it, pushes me towards the tower. I could not have done this alone, and now there are more.
We've had this talk. Whatever works. The point is, we have a common purpose. And we've worked together before. This will be great. I'm happy to help. And I'll sort of look pointedly at Kira, which I feel like is the person that I know best from this group. Be like, it's important to me too. And you would know from like just sort of, I imagine you would know enough to know like there's a thing he wants to tell you, but he's not going to do it here.
I think there's the beat of like she kind of looks around the bar. Well, Mauricio and I have lodging here. It has been comfortable in our time here. I would not want to bore you with plans and with all of the warmth of the dawn that I can place upon you, Ezra. Your itinerary is I'm finding it ambitious. Perhaps if it was two of us, then yes. She looks with a questioning mark at the rest of the group. 5?
Yeah, you just point and I'll punch.
What she said.
Yeah. Amiri offers a high five.
You know what? Yeah, Sela high fives her.
Then with 5, we may need to set a little bit more time.
They wake
and
up
she-
late.
Oh. She tries
You know me, I'm
desperately.
old. I wake with the dawn. I can't sleep.
I wake with the dawn in my dedications as well, such as the dancing of the swords requires me. But I tend to take a nap after. So, and I can't speak to Amiri. I do not want to make assumptions for Sela. She looks back at Miri, and then tries really hard not to look at Miri because she does whatever look Miri's going to face her will break her out of this moment of self-control.
Well, so that's the thing. So usually, guys, like I kind of stay in the drug tank because then I can drink as much as I want and I can spend more money on alcohol instead of having to spend money on lodging. And then
Do they deliver you alcohol in the drunk tank?
No, I just drink until I decide to start a bunch of fights, and then they drag me up to the drunk tank to sleep me off. But then it's great because I don't have to pay for lodging. It's free.
Like any money she would have spent on lodgings just goes to drink, and then she gets thrown in the drunk tank.
See, I'm
This-
not like the smartest person ever.
This is actually
It
the
is
first
surprisingly
evening.
logical and intelligent.
This is the
That
first
is-
evening Amiri has been outside the drunk tank in the evening because she was in there with the thief who escaped.
That sounds like a great life hack, but how about we try putting you in a normal bed tonight just to see what the difference is? You know,
I mean, or we could all get really blasted.
Absolutely not.
how, you know what? Let's table that and maybe do that tomorrow. We'll see.
Promise?
I promise to think about it. How about that?
Maybe after we defeat this epic evil.
It's not a no.
I will promise the maybe, sure.
Ezra?
Promise the maybe. Come on, man.
Oh, it's more than a maybe. If we pull this off, I'll drink Miri under the table.
In like a break of decorum, Kira turns to Muriel. That man is going to die.
And she literally bear hugs him, picks him up, spins him around, and is like, yes!
And then you just hear a loud pop, and he's like, "Oh, thank God, that feels great."
Mauricio is weirdly quiet and somber through all this, and is just kind of watching everyone interact with each other, and also watching the innkeeper, and just not really providing the kind of interaction that Kira would expect from her after the interaction in the library, let's say.
Yeah, I think you watch it clock. I think in knowing somebody in the amount of time that they've known each other, they haven't got so much that they can have like longer, like complicated thoughts with a glance. But I think one of the first things to sort of come in the beginning of a new relationship is the idea of, we'll talk about this in a second.
Meanwhile, Amiri's
Question
just
mark?
like, sexy knife lady, why are you being so quiet?
So,
I did say this was a quiet place. I'm being quiet in a quiet place. Sometimes you can learn a lot from being quiet. Not always. Sometimes.
So,
oh, did Kira, no, I mean, did Mary get a drink?
No.
There is a brief moment of like looking at Mary, like doing the up and down, and there's like a
No, she drank
smallest
Ezra's drink.
there's this smallest mote of concern, but it gets put down. She doesn't want to put her on the spot, but she's like kind of looking at her for a half second. But it does continue into not wanting, but in that effort of not wanting to put her on the spot, it's like, yes, so we should probably find a place to gather and make these plans. Making these plans at the dead of night is probably not our best bet.
Well, we take the night. We start in the morning with the weird lady, according to the Wagoneer, but I think she's gonna have something.
Oh,
to tell us.
Rin? The Wagoneer
Yeah.
called Rin the weird lady? How interesting.
Yes.
I
yes,
know
the
these small
Wagoneer
town
did.
folk.
How
Ugh.
interesting.
he didn't call her the weird lady. He called her the weirdo.
Weirdo. Yes.
Actually, in that beat, our gracious DM, do we all know Rin, or what do we know of Rin?
Well, let's look into that at our next session, because this is about time for us to call this one our official end of day 0. The party has gathered. You have a vague plan. You're going to spend the night here at the Rockfish. You're going to go see Rin in the morning. And then you're going to embark upon your great quest, which is going to be day 1, starting tomorrow. So I have been Eric Scott DeVee, the DM of this campaign, and I'm going to be running Abomination Vaults for a while here on the Dungeon Scrawlers. And this is my lovely, extremely talented cast, and I'm so glad to be here with all of them. I'm glad for you, the chat / audience / people who are watching this on YouTube many months from now. That's totally fine too. I hope you enjoy this game. I think I will. I think we're all doing great, and this is going to be so fun. I want to give a brief shout out for the Dungeon Scrawlers Discord. If you put in !Discord, it will give you an invitation link. And we talk about this campaign and other campaigns where Sister channeled up with writing about dragons and shit. The podcast by Aaron M. Evans, Trevor Bettis, and B. Dave Walters about dragons and shit. And it is great, and you should come on the Discord and chat about all of it. And with that, take it away, Gabrielle!
I have been and still continue to be Gabrielle Harboe, playing Mauricio. I am actually, if you do ! And each of our names, I believe it will tell you where we are at. But I have a Patreon where I talk about writing and editing and game design stuff. at I believe it's Gabrielle-H or _H or something like that. Yes.
Just ! Gabrielle should take you
I just
to
did
that
that.
link.
There you go.
There you go.
_H.
There you go.
Yes. And that's me, and this has been a blast. Thank you. Take it away, Kelsey.
I'm Kelsey. Again, you can find me at Antique Cipher on Instagram for my art page, or wander into any forest in the Pacific Northwest and call my name to the darkness between the cedar trees. Take it away, Jen.
Ooh.
Hello, I'm Jen. I was so excited to get to play Amiri, the Barbarian. You can find me on the internet at Savage Sparrow. SavageSparrow.com is my awesome website for nerdy apparel and accessories. Patreon.com/SavageSparrow for my artwork. And also on Kickstarter, coming soon, mid-October, we are launching an officially licensed Starfinder line. It's going to be super, super cute. The 10% of what we raise is going to go to the Trevor Project. So go to Kickstarter, search for Skittering Through the Stars, and hit that notify me on launch button, please.
Also, !Savage will take you right there. I just put that in the chat too. So
thank you. I forgot what my code was. Then.
Hello, I've been Benjamin Williams playing Ezrin. It is an honor to be here again, and you will find me here and also as an assistant to Kelsey in the dark rituals that we do to the Fae in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest. All right, and Fable, close us out.
And I have been Fable Fox too. I have been a story. I've been playing Kira, your cleric, and I am happy to find you anywhere where you may find Fable Foxtail on the internet. And beyond then, that's the end of this tale until you turn the next page. Thank you very much for being here with all of us, and we are happy to see you start the next chapter.
until next time.